Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP podcast, where we do a deep dive and review a couple of the cool movies and series that we've seen for this week. I'm one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside me is one of my bestest best friends, CHUBAX.
Hello, welcome. Hope you're enjoying our shows. My name's Chubak, or you can go by Chubak, or Big Daddy, or Sexy Daddy, or
Yeah,
just Daddy.
we still call
No
him
one's
CHUBAX.
going that way.
It's from us.
uh,
I'm putting it out there.
um, also one of our co-hosts and one of our bestest best friends, RJ.
Hey everyone, this is me joining in from the shores of Zambales.
There you
This
go.
time it's a beach.
Fancy beach place. A little bit of housekeeping before we start. You can watch all of our episodes, all three of our shows on our YouTube channel. Just search plus 63 HP on YouTube or launches from your browser bit.ly/plus 63 HP. You can tweet at us at plus 63 HP, and you can listen to all of our episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Just search for plus 63 HP. Housekeeping done. This show, our podcast, our deep dive, our review playlist is all about the cool shows or maybe not so cool shows that we've seen for the week. We provide our honest opinion and give you guys a little bit more information if you should watch that particular show yourself with your friends and with your family. It's also good to have context in which where best to watch these shows. So, this week we are tackling Arcane from Netflix, animated series that they've released a couple of weeks ago. We're gonna continue on discussing the live action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop. We're going to talk a little bit about the newest episode of Wheel of Time. That's Wheel of Time episode 3. Uh, and we're very
Four.
happy. It's 3.
Four.
Oh,
It's
4.
actually
Sorry,
four.
you're right.
Four.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, um, and we're also very happy to join or to add another show into our roster for week on week stuff with Hawkeye's episodes 1 and 2 dropping this week in Disney Plus. So, housekeeping done. I'm very, very excited. I'm just going to jump straight right in. Trubox, where are you in Arcane? What do you think about it? And tell us your favorite storylines that you've enjoyed the most.
Dude, I'm done with Arcane last night, and I think it's my show of the year so far.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
oh my God. Everything. I mean, just the pacing, the characters, the art. It's just, I couldn't stop. I just said I'm gonna finish up to six. No, I went straight through. Everything just it was just so good. That it's probably my first time saying this, but for non-Japanese voice acting, they were superb.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was superb. Haley Steinfeld, Ella
Killing it.
Furno, Jace, Victor. Forgot the guy who did the Jace and Victor.
Kevin
Silco was.
Alejandro is Detective
Oh
Dan
yeah,
from
yeah,
Lucifer. He's great.
yeah. I forgot. Yeah, yeah. He was perfect too. It was really good. Um, the story, the plot, it was just perfect. Everything was like a perfect storm. What I really my favorite beats, anything there was a music soundtrack in it that was just playing. All of the action sequences were really good. I kept repeating just a simple scene where uh, Vi was free. First got back to the Undertown,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's walking, going to the looking for someone, and then she passes by the bag, and the band
Oh,
starts playing. I think the
Imagine
band was
Dragons,
based on Imagine
animated
Dragons,
Imagine
right?
Dragons.
Yeah, yeah. So those scenes were perfect. The even the motion acting of the vocalist, the guitarist, so good. Um, everything with Jinx, of course.
Oh,
Ella voiced her perfectly. It's just like that. Is it just me or just I just find Jinx so sexy and so weird. It's her voice, it's just her chaos. And then as I find Jinx sexy, I also find Vi sexy. Her movement is just like she's just like a fighter. Like they
mm-hmm.
got her body language, her movement. It's an animated show, and we're talking about body line, not just the fighting, just the walking. It was like
No, you're
with the
1000% correct.
with the
Even
chest out.
the fort, I'm gonna butcher this, but the it was produced by Fortiche. However,
Mm-hmm.
whoever yeah, the people that animated this show, you're 1000% correct, because the reason why it's so engaging is because of the small micro movements that they put in the character. It makes it real cool. Like, um we'll probably talk about it, but one of my favorite storylines and beats was towards one of the last uh fight scenes between the leader of the Firelight, will hold who that leader is, and Jinx, and then the
That
leader of the
Mm-hmm.
I was just
Firelight
gonna say that,
was
dude. That is my favorite
it.
scene ever.
Not
Fight
only
scene.
That
action
That,
wise,
sequence,
symbolism,
the plot,
where
just
it
yeah.
the
came,
emotional impact.
the juxtaposition of when they were kids and then where
Ah,
when
Kids.
currently.
Yeah.
But I wanted to point out, like, when the leader of the Firelight, the rebellion again, essentially the rebels in the Undercity, was swinging his stopwatch, right? It wasn't a cheat. Like, you could really see the finger move the
Hmm.
stopwatch instead of like
Moving.
swinging the
Yeah.
entire stopwatch with your wrist. So those little micro movements make it just like, so that's why it feels, it's even more real than real, because
and
even
yeah, even the Echo's movement as he was speaking,
Hmm.
mm,
it just felt like he's voiced by Reed Shannon. It just felt like he was talking through him. And that sequence, I had that on my notes. The Echo, the Firelight versus
by
Firelight Leader versus Jigs. It's just the. It's not a scene that we have. Well, I guess they added elements. It's basically the typical samurai fight scene, right? Where
mhm,
they pause and then they imagine, or in this case, Echo sees what's gonna happen
mhm.
so that he can counter it in real life. But when they added that the past scene, the past thing where they were playing, and it just made more emotional. But the sound, the song that was playing,
Yep.
and then the effects, where how they made it look like flipping and then act. It's so good. Even and especially with Jinx, with whenever she does, whenever they do a 360 of her, there's always somebody behind her.
Like a
Different
separate,
character,
like,
the ghost of her past. I just it was just so good. And then um and the relationship with Vi, I'm happy that they went all in that. I was like, I thought they were gonna keep it a little vaguish,
mhm.
but it was pretty obvious, right? I mean, by the end, it was like these two are in a relationship, and I loved it. It was so good. And
uh
just for context, uh, the leader of the Fireflies with the pocket watch, his he's a champion in League of Legends. He's one of the heroes in League of
mhm.
Legends, and I
Even
think his
Jinx,
powers.
even
Yeah, yeah,
Caitlyn.
yeah. No, no. But I mean, those are the main guys. So it's obvious they came from the champ, but he's also one of them. And his power in the game, I think, is like manipulating time.
Mm.
So that's why there was a symbolism with that.
Stopwatch, and then he kind of
Yeah.
like projected it, like, imagined it, the move set for kind of like anticipating the moves, kind of like looking, seeing the future. But
No,
again,
but
I have zero idea how. Like, I actually need to YouTube League of Legends gameplay just to understand like how these champions should perform. But it's like, it's
Dota is League of Legends, right? RJ, if I'm wrong. What? What's the difference
Right.
between
Oh,
Dota and League of Legends? Huh?
I'm not really sure, but I think they're aren't they that different? I mean,
I
gameplay wise, it's similar.
I think they're different, but we'll need to check that out. Um, no, but yeah, this is one of the better shows. But yeah, we'll discuss a little bit further. But Jay, how about you? Like, are you done? Things that you
Hmm.
liked, possibly things that you did not like, if there is any.
It's very hard to nitpick on how amazing
Mhm,
Arcane was actually put together. I agree with Chubax on so many points. The music, the score,
mhm,
is fantastic. Even on episode 9, I think they had a song from Sting. It's called "What Could Have Been." So it's with Sting featuring Ray Chen. So it just the music matched the emotion needed for these scenes. On top of that, the story and the characters just makes it so relatable. Not because we're in that same situation, but you feel the emotions that are
Mhm.
coming out from each one, and perhaps that's related to what you said, John, wherein they have those micro movements. Whether it is when they open their mouth, it's not
Yep.
just like a
Mhm.
comic where it's like that. You really see the gum. They really detail some saliva coming out. I mean, that amount of detail just makes it feel real, even though we know it's an animation. Um, I like at the end wherein although this is an animation, it's still very deep. There
Mhm.
are a lot of thoughts in play. There's politics. There's suppression of rich and poor. And even within the people in the
Mhm.
slums, they were also still fighting amongst each other for control. One uses fear and dependency through shimmer, while the others are just trying to really make a difference and prove to the uplanders that they're not as useless, which I think is the cause of the firelight. They're just trying to survive, right? So a few quotes that I actually enjoyed was when where's my notes? Victor was talking to Wonder Boy, and they were just reflecting about, damn, what we made. We had great plans for it, but it didn't really turn out well. And his specific line was, "We lost ourselves, lost our dream in the pursuit of great. We failed to do good."
Good. Yep.
Dude, that when he said that, I was like, damn. And in a way, yes, you're right, because the road to hell is paved with a lot
With
of
good.
good intentions.
Mhm.
So we may have good intentions, but at the end of the day, what we produce is actually detrimental to everyone. So I liked it. I mean, these lines really make a lot of sense, and very good delivery. Kudos to
Yeah.
Arcane and Netflix for doing this, and Riot Games as well.
Yep. I think every 99% of the decisions they made in this series hit. Even the decision to do 3 acts instead of
Yeah.
10
Mm.
episodes binge drop,
One
because it
straight off.
it
Yeah.
it actually highlighted the story a little bit more. Like you had to chew on it a little bit more. It's essentially 3 movies, but you have the option to break it up into like 3 smaller episodes, so you can run it at your pace. And that, I think, is the best thing. I can see myself binging all 9 episodes straight, even if it's like 40, 44 minutes each. I can also see it watching it like 1 episode a week. But the 3 acts of like 3 episodes each was perfect because it's the right amount of length. Like it's a movie length,
Mm-hmm.
so you get to spend a lot of time with the characters that they choose um to highlight within those 3 episodes, go through all of their arc, because again, it's layered thing. The in Piltover, the Highland, they have their own politics. They have their good and bad, and their good and bad doesn't have it's not super clear cut. Everybody just wants to do good, except that some people have different ways. Same with the Undercity. It's like it's just like you know they're having a tough time, so yeah, they're going they're trying to live their lives through drugs via shimmer that um Victor has produced for himself. Like it's a drug, it's an enhancement, it has so many uses for them, so of course people will be dependent on it. So uh, the amount of time, so the length of time per character, I think, further highlights the arc of not only each character but each locale, and then the entire world in and of itself, because there are a lot of characters. And if I figure, like, I was looking at this, like, if they made this into 20 episodes or 10 episodes or 15 episodes, I don't know if it would have had that much
Enough
detail,
time.
right? So this, again, perfect. And the the there's no real criticism for me here except the fact that now it's like now I'm really gonna have to research League of Legends a little bit more because I know like the Jace's hammer and uh Vice gauntlets, right? Those will be like kind of their powers, and this is how MMORPG world can become quote unquote grounded and realistic. It's just that you're just not dropped into world like what everything has magic and you have magic balls that power magic things. No, like you kind of see the etymology of every single aspect here that kind of makes sense. Like, oh yeah, it does make sense to have like power gauntlets for mining, but also for punching things hard, right? So it's super cool. Like even the way that they make the sex scenes was like the best
Oh,
thing that I've seen in anime
we switched
ever.
it to the yeah with Victor. Oh,
Yeah,
that was great. I
yeah.
even love the mom, the
The
counselor's
mom,
mom. she's she's the reverse misogynist. Like she's like the instead of the typical guy, treating her like a women that
Got
like
the
inferior. She's
got
the
the
she's the
daughter so jealous.
she's the bossed up,
yeah. It.
powerful mom. I love it. And
I'm
they were
even like.
saving. They were
Has
also
manslave, if I can
Mhm,
remind you.
I know. And they were also putting in sprinkles for the next season, right? The mom saying that the
War's
guy who
coming.
killed his brothers coming after you
Her
too,
brother,
and
yeah.
he's more powerful than us, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
So they really weaponize it.
I was gonna criticize them leaving the series on
on that
uh
ending,
semi cliffhanger, right?
yeah,
But I understand it. Like I mean, if you have a project this good, of course you fucking you literally leave him hanging because it's
yeah. That's
great.
my only nitpick is the wait for the next season.
Oh, and this is animation too, so that's I don't know if that's going to be better or worse.
I know.
Because animation is a good thing because you can make them consistently. You can make multiple seasons of them consistently, but also the breaks will be consistent. Like it's gonna be a year.
Less
Right?
complications with the, but it's so
Uh,
good. I just didn't think that the music was gonna hit me that bad.
mm,
That strong. So I love it. I love that. I love all the little touches like Marcus, what happened to him.
mm,
There was no
Yeah.
redemption for him. I love that. I love the last sequence where they're all in the table, dining table, with
tiny table.
powder, with Jinx.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
shoot.
And 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 she chose who she wanted to be by selecting the chair.
Mm,
Yeah,
And
no,
and
and yeah,
that
the layers too. Like at the start, she wanted Vi to choose for her, but then when she
exactly.
realized that it's my choice, I'm gonna decide
Mm.
who I'm going to be. So
um
that
Jinx's
is so good.
character was so well played that even I, when Jinx said brought out a tray with a cover on it, oh, it's like I paid Elizabeth, I paid
Yeah.
a little visit to your
Uh,
friend, and I made her a snack, and
I
I
made her
literally believe like holy shit, I made you a snack doesn't,
cook her up.
but that innuendo, that double meaning, like fuck, she played
Yeah.
her weird ass character so well that it
And
was
then
like
she goes about, I'm
But
not that crazy.
yeah, that
I
was
think you are.
no, no,
I
but
think you are.
she has that she had that smirk and her eyebrow up when she was about to reveal it. So it was like, holy crap, that was very typical. That was something that Joker would have done.
great.
Yeah,
I was like, it was like I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be. I knew it was like, okay. Well, the thing is, a little before that, they killed a kid, and usually in movies, you'd never kill a kid, or you
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
obviously. So when with that kind of like threw all my expectations out of the window when she says like, oh, I made her into snacks. Like, fuck, is it gonna be like a disemboweled head?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my.
even for me, the start to like on another note, I was kind of not loving as the same as much Jason Victor storyline, but then after everything, I loved it too. Like it's funny how they started. Like they had one goal, uh, one vision in mind, and then circumstances split them apart. but in the end they all
Mhm.
they this one wanted war,
They
this one just
went together again. That's
wants
right.
to heal himself and be a good, and then in the end we both fucked up. We both went different directions, and it was the wrong one. We both we both didn't find the right.
So there was really no right
Yeah,
solution.
or
Maybe
maybe they should
Heimer
have just
Heimdinger was correct.
yeah, or maybe they should have stuck
But
together. Maybe they balance each other out, something like that. But
in
yeah,
a
it's
way,
great.
Heimdinger was correct because he said, it's great, but they're not. The world is not ready for it yet,
Yep.
and you need to really check it over
Yeah,
and
but
over and over again, so
my
that it's
my
not
view
misused.
my view with that is he's like Yoda. He
Yeah, he is.
yeah he
But of
you're right
course,
that
you
like this solution might not be the right one, but then he's not looking for a solution at all. Like Yoda is like he keeps
It
saying shit. Oh, we can do this, we
mhm.
can do that, but the underlying problem is still there. You
it
have to do something,
yeah.
Yep.
and he's not doing anything. That's why when he went into the Undercity, he's like shocked, like oh shit, we really weren't doing anything for them.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
Exactly. I mean, that was the case too because Echo was the one who showed Heimdinger that again
Yeah.
it's not enough for people to survive. You have to have to yeah
Oh,
you need to give them a reason to live, and that's what Heimdinger was
Yeah.
missing. Like yes, there are risks, and of course you have to mitigate those risks as best you can, but not doing anything will also will
yeah, just messing
yeah.
everything up. That's
But
me
it's
and
true.
like me and Danny's view right now is like the not the villain, but the whole Star Wars series is because Yoda dropped the ball. He fucked up. It was
Yeah.
especially now that they came up with the High Republic, like 800 or 200 years before Star Wars, and Yoda was already a grandma like at his prime. So going from the High Republic to the Galactic Empire is like he dropped the ball. It was his fault. Like,
True. True.
It's
but
it's
yeah,
just one
back to our.
person. He
Do
was
you
just
think?
one person.
Eh,
No,
you know,
but think about it this way as well. A memorable line when where Heimdinger saw what happened. He saw the tree in the underworld when Echo brought him to the firelight camp, right? So he asked, "How were you able to accomplish so much so quickly?"
Mm.
And Echo goes, "You'd be surprised what you can pull when your life depends on it."
depends on
So
Exactly.
generally, they're so desperate that they just needed,
and the
through
council was
all this,
too
yeah,
comfy.
they're too slow, they're too comfy, they don't do
Yep.
anything for them. So
They
we
have
gotta
the
find a way
luxury to
for them.
relax. That's the thing. They had the luxury to take their time because they had resources.
Yeah,
And
But here
and the
for
councils were also they're focused on their own business, their own
yeah,
endeavors. One was focused on his wine trade. The other one was focused on other deliverables. I mean, that's all they cared about. How much money I'm gonna get out of this, but not thinking how can we help this society that we literally just ignore because we're above them.
but here let's go to major spoilers. You think they're gonna push through with that ending? Are they gonna kill all those characters?
I think so. I mean, we've seen this in
Jace was
this
there, right?
what everybody
Jace
Jace
was
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 there.
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 Yeah. So I
Jace,
think what's
Victor,
gonna happen is the only so Jace Mel was there. Jace's mom,
Mel.
all the counselors. So in the end, the only council member that will be remaining is Heimdinger, and Mel's mom will probably take over, right? But my
For
It
co-
me,
would
I think they're gonna change it up. Maybe some of them will die, but Jace, Victor, yeah, Jace, Victor will survive because they're LOL champions. I don't think they're gonna kill them that
did they
fast.
show it explode?
well, they
It was
killed
about to explode.
they killed
Yeah,
Like
but
other
it hit the
it didn't
glass.
champions.
show. Yeah, it just showed that it was gonna hit.
It hit the
It was.
glass.
It showed the reflection that it was gonna hit the glass. Did it show that it even broke through or something? I'm
It
just
cracked. It
thinking.
cracked the glass. I think it cracked the
Oh, it
glass,
cracked.
but that's when it stopped.
Okay.
And I think it
Oh,
exploded, right?
anyway.
Because there was like a white light
Mhm.
from the point of view of Vi
Uh,
and Caitlyn.
Oh yeah, because it also had that the ball inside that rocket.
Yeah. I think maybe
Mm.
Victor could have saved them or done something with this
Oh, with its new
new thingy.
powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combined with Jace. So maybe
Too
Mel's
bad.
gonna be hurt or
It's
something
the
like
other
that.
thing
Well,
that I
in
like.
the pre
Ash.
mm,
Ash becoming
in the
Ash. That was a
previous
little too on the nose.
episodes, he was also warned that a war is coming, so he better not bring up arms to fight, but to protect. So maybe he would have done something. I'd imagine you'd protect with
The
a shield
council.
or something. I don't know. Yeah, I would say.
But it
But
was a hex magic bomb though, so
yeah, that's
It
true
was
though.
his.
it
So
It
was
was
that's
okay.
kind of
his
his
work.
own equipment,
Mm.
which is in a way symbolic as well, because your own work is your undoing. So
It's
Yeah.
always the case, which is kind of like what the Mel's mom was saying is I know you guys are trying to use technology to help people, but once it's out there, it's gonna be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
yeah,
So so
that's
that
right.
was that was again.
And we'd
She's
better get our hands on that.
exactly.
She had a clear intention already, actually.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Let's do one more quick round of final thoughts and favorite storylines. In Arcane, all three acts, all three episodes. I'll start. Uh, Again, this is we're all in agreement that this is not just a stellar. It's not one of. It's not just one of the best animated series or animated shows. I think it's just one of the best things that you could watch. Period. And if you like action, even more so. If you like animation, even more so. If you like MMORPGs, oh my god, you
League
just
of
like
Legends.
that's a 15 out of 10. So it's great. Um, I did not. I was extremely surprised on how many awesome storylines that this had because all the entire series is just about relationships and what they're trying to do. They're trying to do good by said relationships. Vi and Powder, Vander and Silco, Jace and the Council, Jace and Heimdinger, Jace and Victor, um, Echo and the Undercity. So everything is just about them trying to do what they think is right for the people that they love. And I never realized that last fight scene with Echo and Jace, sorry, Echo and Jinx was gonna hit me that hard because in the end, like they were the product of what Vi and Vi is in the middle, but Silco and Vander,
And Vander.
right? And then their
Mm,
their their product is Jinx and Vi, right? That's essentially the people that will replace them, represent them. But sorry, a powder and buy, and then the next level over is Echo and Jinx. Essentially, well, Jinx is also powder, but Echo and Jinx essentially are just the byproduct of all the violence that had happened in the underworld, and then one is still trying to keep it together, and one is also just trying to like do what she thinks is right. So their fight scene, them going back as kids, them in with paintball. Not only was the action, like the choreography was just stunning, like the the barrel rolls and the flat flips that Echo was doing was great, but even like the small movement of Jinx, or just like standing on her side and then like trying to aim and then flip her hair everything was because like I was also like your hair is down to your feet. That's very not friendly for action. But that was the one that kind of represented the entire thing the most for me, because like, all right, we you know your reason for you might, I mean, this was said a bunch of times. You didn't have good parents, or you grew up and did not have resources. Everybody always uses that reason to be not good for others. But look at Echo, still trying to do his best despite all of that. He's just trying to give people a life, and not to survive. So Jay, how about you?
Even if you don't know anything about League of Legends, do not be do not be intimidated in
Intimidated.
watching Arcane. Trust me, um, or not, up to you. But you don't need to have any knowledge. Watching Arcane as it is an it's a masterpiece on its own. You will love the story. You will love the characters, the animation, the music, the humor, and the emotions. It's a roller coaster of feelings that you will get from watching these 9 episodes. Now, do you need to be in the mood? Not really, because no matter what mood you're in, you'll kind of get that triggered in one or every episode that you actually watch. Personally, I didn't like Powder in the beginning because I always thought she was whiny and needed a lot of uh, support. And yeah, that's okay, but she's a kid, right? But um, she couldn't own up to what she did, and because of that, it transformed her into Jinx. Of course, be it with the poisoning of the mind from Silco.
Gaslighting. Yeah.
But yeah, but at the end, I love the character Jinx so
Mhm.
much than Powder. I was like, please stay Jinx. Do not be Powder. Not because she was crazy or because she was a damaged good. It's because she really acted it well, and she had that personality wherein she wants to prove herself at the beginning as Powder. She wanted to keep proving herself to be useful. I want to be useful. I want to be useful. I want to come with you. I can do it. But Jinx is like, you know, I'll I don't care. I don't care what other people think. I'll just do whatever I think is right. And she liberated herself from being Powder as Jinx. Of course, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but um, it's just really she's for me my favorite character as well in that entire. I mean, I love the characters, everyone, even down to those that just had one episode, and then they were killed off. But um, Jinx was something that I would keep coming back for. I loved her facial reactions. I love her how she became who she was, and how she decided to stay what she is. How about you, Chibak?
Oh, I love it. It's 11 over 10 for me. Don't care if it's League of
Oh,
Legends or whatever. Just watch it. I think
watch it.
Zong, you said something perfect. I love how they put all the like political story beats, distilled it down to the relationships. It was
Mhm.
like, yeah, we're talking about the undercity, we're talking about discrimination, but it's all because of we see it all because of the relationships that they have to each other, from Jace to Victor, Jace to Heimdinger, Jace to Mel. You know, the way they do the relationship, it highlights the politics, not the
Mhm.
other way around. So
Mhm.
it's so really good. And then the action is just the music used in the action as well, the
Oh yeah.
fight scenes, the choreography. Can't wait for season two. That
Yeah.
You gotta watch it, guys. You gotta watch it.
Yeah. There's a stir. So I know we had a lot
Brilliant.
of spoilers in all of our discussions about Arcane, but believe us when we say that there's still a lot of meat in the bone. Like we haven't even
Mm-hmm.
discussed about the independence of Zon. We didn't even discuss how the Undercity was being taken over, the mafia under there. There's so many other story beats there that just even provides more depth and
Yeah.
context to the characters that
I
you
think
watch.
even the politics in the relationship, you can distill it down to that one choice for Silco: freedom or James. That highlights the whole series. Like, what are
And
you gonna
even
choose?
what he chose was made
Fuck everybody.
sense. It made
Yeah,
sense. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah. I mean,
you cannot fault anything about this series. It's wonderful. So
it's like what I
uh
always say about The Last of Us for Joel.
Mm,
If I'm everybody else, fuck Joel. But if I'm Joel, I would have
no.
done the same thing,
Mhm.
right? It's all context there.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. It's a good.
you're right. It is context because the view of right or wrong or good and evil is dependent on your vantage point. Where are you
Mm.
standing? What kind of life are you living? What's good for you may be bad for others. So that's what I like about it. It's animation, but it's gripping.
Yep.
It's real.
Yeah, and
Definitely gripping.
this team, it's just like it's not just the animation, it's the animation and the story and the voice acting and how the series was structured and the number of episodes. So many things had to go right to make one of these shows, and I'm very
And they
very
all
happy
did.
that it's just on Netflix. We didn't have to fucking subscribe to a different new channel. We don't have
I
to
would
even
have
have to.
watched this on fucking IMAX, or maybe I wouldn't because I didn't think it would be worthy of IMAX. But
But
then
you can't
here
make you
I
can't
know
watch
knowing now I should.
you can't watch nine, even three
No, no,
IMAXs,
I
right?
know,
So
but
this
I'm
was
just
kind of
saying
great.
that it's that good.
Well, so that is a discussion of Arcane. We can't wait for season two. From one Netflix show to another, we're gonna transition our way to Cowboy Bebop, and we're gonna start with a discussion where where have you got where you guys are in the series, and then just general thoughts, likes, dislikes about storyline. We'll start with you this time, Chubax.
Let me. I'm double checking where I am. Cowboy Bebop. Oh, why it's not coming up? I think I'm seven.
Hmm. Almost. It's 10
Yeah,
episodes, right?
seven. So yeah, I don't know. It just kind of bogged down for me. Um,
Mm.
Little disappointed with how it continued. Uh, I think what some of the criticisms you guys been saying last time are showing, like things that shouldn't have bothered me are bothering me now. I don't know why. Like some of the sets are really sticking out. Um, the storyline, I thought I would be happy with like the single shot, but really great standalone. Yeah, I thought I would be happy with the standalones. They're not really that well made, and I'm kind of it's like episode seven. I'm already tired that they never catch a bounty. Like
Yeah.
how are they
How are they
how are
making
they
money?
yeah how are they keeping up afloat? I mean, and it's not realistic. I mean, if they were bounty hunters, they'd
Maybe
win some, they'd lose
maybe
some.
according to what they say, they're just going for the cat food.
I mean, there's still fun times.
Yeah.
I still love John Cho. He's perfect. I love Faye as well. But yeah, it
Yes.
just bogged down. I mean, I didn't even. I'm gonna finish it, but it's not making me want to finish it immediately.
Mm.
So it's not bad. It's not good. It's not great. So I'm around. What was my score last time? Maybe 8 or 7, I think. I'm down to six or seven. You can wait for this. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. How about you, Jay?
I actually agree with you. As I watch more and more episodes, my interest level is also dropping. I'd probably be still maybe a little higher. I'd be at 6.5, as opposed to my last rating, which probably was an 8 or 8.5. Um, the redeeming factor was episode 6, where you at least, because I've been wishing to see more of Danielle Pineda,
Hmm.
and we actually got to see more of her there with some good action.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
but
I was looking at
that aside, that aside, it was really, I don't know if that's really relevant to the story, but you're right. You're watching episodes and you're just wishing that they at least catch a bounty. But I like how the conversations are and how they're starting to kind of jive together. That's okay, but I'm on episode 7 as well, but do we have to wait until 7 episodes out of 10 for them to be really united? That could have probably been done earlier. It would have been great to see losing, to see some bounties lost, but it would also, would it hurt? Would it kill you to give at least the viewers one episode where they actually catch a bounty that they set out. I mean, it would
Because
have,
even in Firefly, they'd win some, but then they lose it after, but they still won some.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
but
mean?
they won
So here,
some exactly.
yeah.
No, no, I get you. I get you. I still like the shots. I still like the angles. I mean, that's that's something I'll appreciate. But I also would like to say that maybe my judgment or our judgment as a team is also clouded since we put Cowboy Bebop side by side with Arcane. We put it side by side with the Wheel of
Mm-hmm.
Time, and 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 apparently this week Hawkeye. But I'm sorry, I'll catch up to that next week. I'll give you my thoughts. But putting all that together, Cowboy Bebop kind of doesn't stand out. But if we probably put it together with Prisoners of the Ghostland or, you know, um, oh God, nightmares from those movies, um, then it would probably stand out more. I think that's why my
But
judgment is clouded. But
though, yeah, one
um,
sticking point, Jay. I'm not really digging the vicious side. Like, I don't really care about his plans or
yeah,
what the his side of trying to unite against do a coup d'etat against the
against
elders.
the
It's
elder,
not, yeah, it's not digging into me.
it's not. And nothing against the person or the actor himself. But every time I see Vicious, I remember Lucius Malfoy. So, I mean,
Uh, I
Lucius
remember like
Malfoy, kind
a counterfeit version of Sephiroth is what I'm remembering.
And I'm also torn on the anime look. Like, they look the same they're wearing the same clothes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it. I'm trying to remember Firefly. Was it like that? No, right? They
They have
changed a
some
little clothes.
costume changes, but it was more like they still
Yeah.
end up in the same outfit at the end at some point.
Or they use, like, they change the shirt, then they put the same coat or something. So I don't know how I feel about it, like having them in one set of clothes, just like the anime. So
true.
in animation, it's understandable because it's gonna be hard to keep changing the design up.
That's
But
right.
for here, I don't know.
I mean, would it have hurt to give John Cho a red suit, a black suit, I don't know. It may still have the same elements, like the propped up collar, the loose necktie, and I get that. Okay, but maybe some minor changes wouldn't have hurt.
Mm.
And you, Joe?
The so I'm looking at the top stories around Cowboy Bebop, the headlines of the reviews. All right, I'm just gonna run through. Cowboy Bebop's hunt for visual style is a pain in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Decider said, "No, Cowboy Bebop. I don't care about Vicious and Julia."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Engadget says Netflix's Cowboy Bebop
agree.
is everything wrong with nostalgia reboots.
Well,
New York Times says
well, too
what
much.
Netflix Cowboy Bebop gets right and wrong. All right, so I'm running those headlines down because the internet or like the reviewers are split with this series. Like people like them, people don't like them in various different ways. Like what you mentioned, Chubax, like the anime style might be not for everybody. It's a little too stylized. I particularly liked it. It actually really grew on me. It's just something that I don't see a lot in regular TV that I watch. So anything that is not like the usual one shot or just like a 50-50, or this is the scenic shot works well for me. I also understand that, because it is futuristic, but it's retro futuristic. So there's still the usual, women are this, men are this, gangsters, mobsters, very, very old version of gangsters. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you respected my family, I'm gonna kill you all. Like very, very old. That's very, very
Old school.
simplistic way of putting conflict in a particular series. So that I particularly did not like, but I finished a series.
Oh, you
It's
did?
not, yeah, it's not perfect, but remember last week I was the most critical about the
Yeah,
series, I've actually
Mm-hmm.
grown to like it a little bit more.
we flipped.
We
Oh,
flip.
okay.
I liked it a little bit
I
more, but
know.
um, the
Does
thing
it pick
because
up on the last three?
it, I think now that hearing your reviews, you guys might like it even worse
Okay.
because yeah,
Even worse?
even worse because for me, I
Oh,
the reason why I, all the stuff that you guys want, like, oh, so my main, I think the main issue with the Cowboy Bebop season one is they used season one for an, the full season as an exposition. They give you everybody's background, every single one, Vicious, the Syndicate, Julia, Spike
okay.
slash Fearless, Faye Valentine. This is everybody's origin story, but they're also trying to make it a monster of the week kind of thing,
Kind of.
which didn't work.
Mm.
And then they also have like a main through line of the Spike being killed thing, and then him getting his revenge, right? So there's it's so convoluted for first season. I wish they stuck, if they scrapped half of the other storylines and they did a week on like a monster of the week thing or bounty of the week thing, this would have been a little bit, this would have been a lot better. It would have been a lot better because the idea is you get to see their skills and their philosophies through the bounties that they make, and then they try to catch. But the thing that did not kind of work is like I mentioned, we don't. There's some bounties, but we never really see a bunch of follow through, right? And then there's the vicious thing and the syndicate thing, and then there's the Faye Valentine amnesia thing. There's like everything is happening all at the same time, which I did not like. But the if they had more of the, I love the dynamic of them three, and it sucks that they
Yeah.
only have a
I agree
few
that.
episodes, and then towards the end of the episodes, because everybody had different issues towards the end, that dynamic had to get separated again, right? So that's kind of like the sucky part of this. But I do like this as a week on week thing. I hope that in the next few seasons they get the 2-3 season deal, so they don't have to jam too many stories in one. They can just like do, all right, we're gonna do face shit and then do bounties while doing face shit, and that's it. Right? That's going to be my case. But again, it's not perfect. It's one of those, I it's perfect right now for me because I did not have to finish this. I was not. It wasn't like Arcane where I, when it for every time the little button says watch next episode, I was like fucking hit it already. Like, right. This one's like, all right, cool. Maybe I'll play a little bit of Halo. Maybe I'll eat, grab a bite.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, question, spoilers. Does it end in a cliffhanger? Like a big
Uh,
cliffhanger?
yes and no. It
Did,
doesn't end in a
did it
cliffhanger like the anime did, or like in a sad story like
did
the
it
anime
reach
did.
the ending of the anime?
Kinda. They change a lot of stuff.
Okay. So, yeah, one of my thoughts also for this one is that there's unrealized potential. So, yeah, like you said, I like the style, I like the look, I like their chemistry. They just, trying to get them all together. So, yeah, I'm so excited for this. Is this gonna get a season two from the buzz it's been doing? Could
You
be
know what?
50-50.
It's scary. I don't think it
It
is.
could, but it could not as well.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think it
wasn't.
created so much
So
ripple in the waves.
I hope it gets enough. I'm gonna watch it. I'll finish it. I hope it gets enough slack that it
Yeah,
can
me
get
too.
they can get a season two. I'd be hyped for that.
They developed
That's
such a
it.
great visual style, and I think they just need to tidy up the story a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, it's super. Again, I
You know,
the fearless um origin story or his backstory. I really dug that. I really dug that. So I hope that they could keep on continuing. Um,
I'm okay.
I think I mean we're still split. Some people are still finishing it, so we might touch upon this in future episodes as well. But that is it for now for Cowboy
Cowboy
Bebop.
Bebop.
Um,
And let's do a
think
quick rundown next week for me and
mhm.
RJ when we finish it.
All right.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna swiftly move on to our penultimate topic, which
Oh,
is my ex girlfriend's new series. So
The pie.
Wheel of Time episode 4 entitled shit. It's Dragon Reborn is the title of episode 4. So let's run through some initial thoughts of this. I'm gonna start with Jay because you're the one who doesn't have background on the books. So just
Hmm.
purely just about the series and just about this particular episode and the episode so far, what have you liked and not liked about it? And what are like the things that kind of are starting to stand out for you in this fantasy epic?
Well, I'm confused on how the fake dragon is connected to the source when
Mm-hmm.
he's not clearly 20 years old. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to say, or maybe it doesn't matter what age you are. Maybe it doesn't choose the age, but I just don't understand how anyone would say and claim that he is, although be it with good intention, even though he exhibited his powers, like, oh, flaunted it, I would say, even just to prove, um and claims that, I'm not gonna destroy the world, I'm gonna put it
save it.
together or something. Yeah, heal it or something, like bind it, rather. I think that's the term he used. Right? I like your ex-girlfriend's skepticism with him, because obviously she's in her head like, huh, you
Yeah.
can't be the one, because I've got
I
four.
got
I'm not
five of
telling you
them.
anything. Five of them, yeah, five. I've got five of them. I'm just not gonna tell you, but okay, sure. Are you really? Why do you think so? I like how she interrogated them, but
I'll clarify for you later. Go on.
if you can,
Yeah,
because
yeah, I will. But
that kind of
keep
lost
going,
me
going with your
a
thoughts.
little bit. That just
Keep going with
lost
your
me
thoughts
a
on the
little bit.
episode.
Um, and there seems to be, I don't know if it's just me, but Lan seems to have some relationship, building some relationship or connection with, what's her name?
Nynaeve.
Naive.
Yeah, yeah,
Naive.
Nynaeve.
Nynaeve. Mhm.
It's like, but aren't you supposed to be like kind of, you're butt naked with ex girlfriend right here, with
Jong, I
what's
guess
her name?
they're doing that right. I
That's
guess
I
they're
mean
doing that right.
that's the worry that I had too, because a lot of these are very confusing, right?
Yeah,
About the
but
dragon, about the
I
relationships
get
of the
Yeah,
warders.
because I thought like the Ward and like Moraine and Lan were supposed to like
uh,
be faithful to one another in a way, because there's only one Ward to one Eye to
so I
Eye,
guess
right?
yeah. So I'm just saying that they're doing that correctly. Then the questions you have are questions in the in the book. Like that's one of their issues. The three of them,
Okay.
Lan, and being having issues with Nynaeve and with Moraine. So
Well,
that's not
That's not a bug, that's a feature.
that's
yeah,
not unusual.
it's not
Okay. Okay.
it's
It's
not
something that
an
people kind of
intentional feature.
find. Okay. Okay.
That was the intent to have friction between those three because of that, the questions that you have.
Okay. But
So
overall, of
I'm
course,
happy with that.
it's gripping. I can't. It's hard. You have to wait every Friday. So
I know
till the next one drops. But how many is this again? Six
eight,
only?
I think eight,
Eight.
Eight. Okay, good. So at least there's still more to
one
go.
more.
More to come. I need to rewatch it though, because I really didn't understand a number of things that happened. At the same time, I was also kind of busy with the packing and everything for the trip.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my 100% focus, but I would love to do it again, because I'm actually not forcing, asking my wife, you've got to watch Wheel of Time. It's epic.
Oh,
It's
then
fantastic.
rewatch it with her then. That'll you
I
can.
will, absolutely. She's catching up. I think she's on episode 2, and she's liking it so
Yeah.
far. Obviously, her first comment was, "Oh, it's like if Lord of the Rings and Game of
Game of
Thrones were
Thrones,
kind
yeah.
of merged together.
Yeah.
That's basically what this is." And I said, "Yeah, but this book actually was all the way back in what was that,
1990.
1980s,
1990.
1990s,
Yeah. So after Lord of the Rings,
80s, I think 80s, right?
before
Yeah,
Game or
before Game of Thrones.
yeah. So just here, I guess it's spoilers, yeah. But just to clarify for that, uh, there's a prophecy in the book, or there's a just to be a little vague. Moraine heard a prophecy that the dragon was born on a particular day. That's why
Only her, not the other Aes Sedai.
her and some, her and
Okay.
one or two others,
Okay.
but yeah, not
Okay.
generally. Other people, other Aes Sedai
There's
don't
a
know
lot of
about.
prophecies and there's a lot of interpretations, and
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll just go. I'll go into it. But when Maureen was young, I like was it accepted Zong? Was it? Am I saying
Mhm.
that? Like she's like a trainee, like a Padawan.
yeah,
Jedi.
accepted is the
Trainee.
Padawan.
Yeah,
Like
accepted.
a novice is the first. Like
Her and another. Her and another. Another accepted were with the previous Amerlin seat, the leader of the Aes Sedai.
Mhm.
Not the current one, not the current one that's sitting, but the previous one. So Maureen and her best friend were with the previous Amerlin seat and another Aes Sedai. And that other Aes Sedai had a prophecy and died on the spot.
What?
Yeah, so
Okay.
like it was one night and there was like many fights going around them, and this one had a prophecy that he's born. The dragon is born here, there, like in one spot, and then she dropped dead. So that information is very secretly held. So only Maureen knows that. But still, she still was like, "Is it correct? You don't know, right?" She just heard that. So in the episodes, like, what if I'm wrong? Like shit, we don't know. So she was. So that's like the general knowledge. They just the general knowledge is that they know the dragon will be reborn, but they don't have any details like Moraine does.
so
So when I
anybody,
guess
any
wait,
when
man can be a
Loghain,
dragon.
yeah.
But
So when Loghain comes
but
in and he's particularly strong with the power,
People start
then
believing him.
yeah, he believes it
wait,
himself too, and he's being whispered to, like going mad. So he thinks he's the dragon reborn.
but are they supposed to what did they call it? Gentling,
Yeah,
Gentle, yeah,
gentling.
gentling,
like
That's
cutting
cutting.
from the
gentle.
force.
Yeah, takes.
Yeah, but if this is, if some of them believe that this guy is the dragon, then why are they gonna
That's
cut him off the
also
sword?
yes, that's also one of the issues. So that the
I'm like,
power,
they're like,
like
oh, yeah,
so
you're gonna
like the
bring him to the
power,
White Tower to gentle him. So
the
I'm
Aes
like,
Put him on
Sedai,
trial.
yeah, put them on trial. And the Aes
uh,
Sedai, like in the Aes Sedai, they have different groups. So that's also an issue. Like if the real dragon came out, what would like the Reds
yeah, what would
believe
they
that?
do?
Mhm.
Yeah, the
That's
Reds
that's
believe
why
that
they
power is
need
only
to
for
bring him
women.
to the tower just to investigate. It's most likely not going to be the dragon, but they're
Yeah,
going to have to investigate too because the off chance of
but he is.
yeah
They need
is
him,
yeah.
but they
But
need him
but
under
the
their
thing is,
control.
if he's not the dragon, and they will cut him off the source because he's a male,
Mhm. Because he's gonna go mad,
because they
not
said
because it's not because he's a male or not because of the use of the power, but males who uses their magics
will go mad.
will
Yeah,
goes
you see
mad.
the black, right? The black thing. That's
Yeah,
not because of a
the
male.
tendril.
Yeah, it's
That's
black
actually
because of
something
a
I
taint.
wanted for Asomedos, really. But anyway, another.
Yeah, it's. I think it's black because of the taint, not because it's the male source that they're seeing.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so that's why he's going. Yeah, so as John
That's
said,
why he has this voice talking to him or
yeah,
something.
Mhm.
it's their job
Okay,
to
I get.
gentle them because they're gonna eventually go mad. So
Yeah.
that's also the issue with the dragon. Like he will eventually go mad because he's still gonna be using this
Mhm.
the taint,
The
the source
tainted
with the
source.
taint. Yeah,
Yeah.
the tainted source. So that's one of the many issues that they have.
So the ideal situation is for a female to be the dragon.
That a female, well, prophecy doesn't say that a female can be a dragon. It's always going to be you know,
A
Yeah, and,
male.
and
man.
they make it vague in the series, but in the book it's specific that it's the dragon's gonna be a man.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
in the series they made it vague.
Yeah, that's I mean, it all boils down to like the previous dragon broke the world, broke the wheel. The next
Mm,
dragon will mend it. That's kind of like that's what they're counting on. So they're searching. Although these Aes Sedais, their part of their job is to hunt down all of these false dragons
mm.
to
Okay.
investigate and then
No
ensure
false
that they're
dragons
not the real
here.
dragon, and then gentle them. So
But
Well,
some are more what's the term?
aggressive.
Excited yeah, more headstrong about it.
strong about it. So the current world that we're watching is where the wheel is already broken. So the next dragon is
No,
what they're
well, it's
hoping to
more
cement it.
no, it's not
Not
really
Because I know
necessarily.
broken.
there was a dragon that happened 3,000 years ago. I know they said
Yeah.
something about that. So that I suppose is when it was broken. So I guess they're thinking the next dragon is prophesized to. Well,
I
I guess
don't know if that's
depends on the
specific.
fact.
Yeah.
I mean, it's along that lines. I mean, the last person, I mean, the last dragon, the last male that was powerful enough to use the one power, um, again, was able to seal the darkness, right? That was the last thing. But
Yeah,
also,
so they were like the Aes Sedai before, the male and female, they were strong enough and they were doing some research, and then they found a power source different from what they were using. They opened it, and apparently, but they were surprised that it was the seal of the Dark One. So they call it the bore. They accidentally opened the hole to the Dark One's
Oh,
prison. So the last dragon, along with many other male Aes Sedai, used the Sidene, the male side, to close it back. But when they closed it, they touched the Dark One was able to touch the male source and taint it. So they all went crazy and they all just burned everything to the ground. Like they all destroyed shit and killed a lot of people. And since
is
then,
the
all
dark
the
one imaged as a tendril as well?
he's like a demon, like
mm,
super like a god, a dark god,
is the
something like
guy
that.
with the flaming eyes and mouth, is he supposed to be the dark one here?
Uh,
Oh yeah, the
spoilers.
one in the
It's spoilers.
reflection.
Yeah.
So major spoilers. I think some of the nightmares could be the dark one, but there's some that
Forsaken. It might be some of the
what
Forsaken.
yeah, there's one Forsaken that pretends to be the dark one,
Oh yeah,
Ishamael,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So
But
it
that's, I
could be
mean, I
him.
was just like, I'm again, it's silent right now. It's just like,
Yeah,
is this going to be their image? Is this their
of
Sauron?
the
Is it
dark
their,
one. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or it doesn't matter if it's like somebody pretending to be the dark one, but is this
yeah,
their image of what the
yeah.
dark one would be? Which is kind of, hey, it's kind of simple and interesting. I'm not so into it or not so out of it, but yeah.
Okay.
So for me, are you done, Jay?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
done.
So
It's
me,
just
I just
really how can they fit all this in 9 episodes or
I know.
10
Yeah,
or
yeah, I
11?
hear you.
I just
Like I told Jong,
yeah.
I just hope they do the. I want them to do the best of hits. Do a time jump and then just spend a few minutes keep getting everybody back to speed on the different things that happen in the time jump, and then go for the. I wouldn't mind uh like what one season the ending is like they all go their separate ways, and then the start of the next season they just
They're
get
already
back
back.
together and they got their armies and they're fighting something. Just give me that, We're smart, we'll
True.
figure it out.
Hmm.
Yeah, so for me, I love the episode. It was more probably there like I thought it was gonna be like the filler episode,
Hmm.
but it kind of was. But in the end, it's like that surprised me, and I
It
loved it.
gives you something. Yeah.
Yeah, I like all the small conversations, um the Gleeman story about his nephew, right? Was it nephew? Orem. I love how they perfectly, or from my point of view, they perfectly getting parents prop issue, or uh, like his indecision, like with his grief and his he doesn't want to fight but he needs to fight. and then the juxtaposition of with the Tuatan of the Way of the Leaf, where they can't fight or they decide not to even fight at all. They just endure it. They run away or endure it. And him hearing this, like it wouldn't have the same effect if it was like Mataran, but with him, already having these thoughts and then seeing this, uh, so good. I'm kind of sad. I wanted to see Elias. It's Elias, right, Joe?
I forget.
The Wolf brother.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, he's supposed to meet him before the Tuatha. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be with him when
During
they
the
met the
during the
Tuatha.
during the desert walk. Yeah.
Yeah, before. So I don't know if they're gonna introduce him in the future, but I did like him. But yeah, the Tuatha were cool. Like the Tinkers. I always like their position. Like it's stupid, but you know, like she said, she's playing the long con. Like if I'm not fixing this for my grandchildren, but for my daughter who's coming back in like generations from now. And then I'm really digging the fight scene in the end. Oh wait, before that, I'm liking the dynamics between the different Aes Sedai, like
Mhm.
the blue and the green and the red, and even like Moraine, who's kind of she's like very apt described as the spy. She's like the one that goes around doing shit, and then the greens are the healer or is it the yellow? I think
I think yellow.
yellow's the healer, right? Okay. Oh, the green's the one that loves men. So they
The
have the
green
one
with
with
multiple guys.
yeah the multiple warders, and it was assumed Jay, right, that
Yeah.
they're sleeping
That
around, right?
she two. I think there were
Alana,
two
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I was
love
like,
that.
oh,
I
horny
love that
girl.
dynamic, but I also love like because in the books it's more. It's also um well done, but it was very antagonistic toward the red, and they kind of make a better play here where even with the green, Moraine's not that friendly. And I love the part where the Greens are joking around like, imagine dinner between Moraine and Lan.
Greenland.
Like, 'cause in reality, they don't talk about any other stuff except the job, so they can be quite thoroughly. And then I also like how they humanize Leandrian. Like in the end, she's like I kind of dug her too, because in the book she's more black and white, and the fight scenes was amazing. Even Kat loved how in sync the Warder and the Aes Sedai were. Like they were getting their back. They knew where the weaknesses are, and the Warders were covering the Aes Sedai. The Aes Sedai knew when to hit, where to hit, so they're very effective. And then the last sequence, well, what can I say? I loved it. I don't remember that happening in the books,
I don't. I was gonna
right?
ask
No,
you
I
the
don't
same thing.
think
Did
it
that
did.
happen?
Yeah,
Were they
no,
were
no,
they
no.
attacked? But
I think in the books, uh, Nynaeve followed them by the tracking. That was true. But then she found them before they split up, right?
yeah.
Or no, she found them after. That was correct. She found them with she found Nynaeve and she found Moraine and Lan, and then Moraine immediately noticed that she could channel. So not she didn't have this coming out party, which I really loved. It was so good. Even Logan was like fucking raging. So, so good. How about you, Jong?
No,
Logan
I'm.
was good too. Logan was really great too.
I That's my main point was in the book Logain never really
Yeah,
because he was always just like being talked about, this dude Logain from this area, that whatever, so he never really had a face to me in the book. And the way that they when they started providing Logain's backstory and the battle of Geldian and how
the
he
start.
I was like, filler episode.
I
And
know,
I was like,
right?
but again, the providing context around, I didn't realize that or something that the book was not particularly good at is how these false dragon could be strong, how strong they could be. And then I love the
Yeah,
context around two Aes Sedais having to suppress shield Logain, and then they have to work in shifts, and then with the politics on the tactics on what to do with Logain to gentle him right away or bring him to the trial, 200 miles to travel, yada yada yada. So um that's one of those things that, all right, cool, like this was a smart decision because it makes it a little bit clearer, the dynamic between having false dragons, period. Because to this point, even the five, which was initially four and then became five, the four from the
Mm.
two rivers, they're all false dragons too. They just
Yes.
haven't channeled. And then this
Yes.
one
Yes.
is kind of like somebody that has been channeling already. And then I like the idea. It's like, hey, anybody can be wrong. We have to check everybody out. So that's kind of that's what I took out of this episode is providing a holistic background on the the pros and cons of being the dragon. Like con, most likely you're not the dragon, most likely we're gonna gentle you, right? Pro, even a bad guy like Logain can still kind of amass men together, some different groups, even
I
turn.
don't even think he was bad. A
I
little
don't think he's
crazy.
a bad guy.
Yeah. He
Uh,
wanted, because even the start he didn't kill the king. He wanted to
Well,
and
that's
unite the
the
world.
exact same thing. That the king that he conquered, he turned to his side,
Yeah.
right? So that was
mm,
one of those things. Like, oh, right, that's the power of the Dragon Reborn because you have so much power, you can turn over a castle. A worse dragon would have just burned everything down, but this one he wanted to like, want to show them that
Mind the world.
he might be the actual
Yeah, I
dragon that
like the
burned down the world.
shadowing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's cool now because like I'm in the middle of book four, so I'm actually
Oh.
getting more and more confused when I'm jumping
It's
back
book
to.
four when Perrin goes back.
I'm at the point where he's going back to the two
Ah,
rivers right now,
so good. Oh my god.
right?
I love
He
that
just
book also. I love that part.
Yeah, so he's just and then I just gone to the part where um Matt got so upset with Rand that he's letting Perrin go. It's like Perrin needs to go and take care of the two rivers. I have to
Yeah.
stay here and take care of everything else.
And
And they never
actually,
talk.
Rand's also correct. He's Tavern. How do you say it?
Talviren.
Tavern.
oh,
So I need him, but he also gets pulled by the pattern in his own way. Though. If he needs to
Mm.
go, he'll go. If I need him back, he'll come back. Relax. Right?
Mm. So I'm getting confused, but like yeah, this is also one of those things that I think I saw what did I see? Oh, I watched the two episodes of Hawkeye and then this. So I was a little bit not paying as much attention and then playing a little bit of Halo too. So I also really wanted to make sure that I didn't miss any because like again, my first question towards the end is like, I don't think that happened in the book. It's like,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this
yeah.
set piece right here, it's like,
But
was this?
for RJ's context, the most of the Aes Sedai now, their powers like low. They're not as good as the Aes Sedai 3,000 years ago. So the new ones that are popping up, like Egwene, like she said,
mhm.
right? Is she close to Egwene? They're like the full 3,000 years power ratings. Like their power ratings are like the full Aes Sedai
Like the
3,000 years
olden
ago.
days.
Yes,
Okay.
that's so like that's why
So that
Bran
means
asked
they're strong.
is he strong as Egwene, and she didn't think so, right? She said so. Like if this is Maureen, maybe 20% RJ. Egwene's maybe 50,
Hmm.
and then the Nynaeve I think is around 90 to the Dragon Reborn's
What?
100. Yeah, but the
But
problem with
with a
Holy
flaw.
Nynaeve is
cow.
With a flaw.
yeah with flaw. So Nynaeve is like if she's angry or desperate enough, it goes to 90. But at most times, she can't
Okay.
even touch it.
You can do it.
She can't even do it. So I was like, so like in the future when she's traveling with like Egwene and they're like most of the stuff that they do normally is Egwene because she can't touch the source. But then when it's like life or death and or when she's angry enough, she'll be able to touch it.
All right.
Because
Okay.
she's a little old for the techniques.
All right.
So
I
so
think
excited for next episode.
yeah, we're I it's one of those things like all right, I'm still okay. Last question before we skip to the next topic. Are we blown away yet by Wheel of Time?
I was blown away by the last scene. Yeah, I'm in it. I'm digging it. For me, it's
Okay.
like a 9 right now. Oh, and I read an article where, which I kind of glossed over before, but the casting is, I love the casting. Like, one article said it's already better than Game of Thrones. I said, huh? This is too early to say. And then I said, oh, the casting, because the casting is so diverse. It's like not all white men. Or, it's all different. So I love that part. Like, even in the Two Rivers, it's diverse. So it's like how the world should be.
Mhm.
That one I really appreciate too.
Yeah. Well, it's for me. It's getting there. It's like it's
Oh,
almost there. I think it's
okay.
one of those things where I got so spoiled with Arcane's 3 act structure, and then the first episode, like the first drop of Wheel of Time, was 3 episodes, and not a lot happened in those 3 episodes. Like right, so um, uh, I wish this was like a 3 episode drop every week, because this one kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
kind of like
One
ooh.
last comment though. I also saw a tweet about this, like, where you think they're gonna, like, that for us book readers, they're doing this thing where they're making it suspenseful for me, because they're gonna show you, like, you think they're gonna change it, but they did. Like the scene with Matt.
Mhm.
I really said, like, shit, he killed him. He killed him. Like, what the fuck? And then it wasn't, because it was a fade.
Mhm.
So I was like, that got me. That was funny. He's like, that did happen. Holy shit! And then, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
see you.
Again, I'm really liking the acting too. So Jay, last thoughts before we move to Hawkeye.
Um, I feel that uh, it has the components to become an epic, and I think those that like these types of fantasy genre series or films or books will also appreciate watching the Wheel of Time. Um, Even my wife is able to follow it, although she's not really a big fan of it, of this kind of
Genre.
genre. But yeah, I just feel that they're trying to. For a non-book reader, I haven't read any of the books. There will be points where I'll be confused, and I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
thankful that Chubak and Jong are here to provide context, and it actually makes sense now that you've read the book and you share with me why this is the why the way it is. It makes more sense now when I rewatch it again. I'll be like, okay, so that makes sense there. But they have to be careful because not everyone watching the series has read any of the books. So
But
um,
also, in from my point of view, I think most of the
mhm.
questions that you had
Or correct.
were correct. Were well placed. I mean,
We're,
no,
we're the
in
same
a sense
questions we
that
had when I was listening to the book.
in a sense that
Okay, that's very
no,
tough.
I'm saying that your questions are intended. Those are intent. It's not like, oh, they handled it wrong. That's why it's confusing. It's meant to be confusing.
Oh,
So the
okay.
clarity that you understand now is spoiler clarity. It's not how you should be thinking at this moment. You know what I mean? You're
Okay.
supposed to be confused so far
Okay.
in those ways.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Then I appreciate that.
All
that's
right,
it for
that
our
was our
Wheel of Time.
penultimate series to review for this week. Our last one, something I was extremely excited about. I'm very happy we're going to start discussing will be Hawkeye episodes 1 and 2. Again, for series that for the week on week series that we are discussing, we will try our best to not spoil it for you. But again, this is a review episode. At some point, we're going to discuss details. At some point,
Yeah.
we're going to discuss the things that we know about, the little things that we know about the comics. But just forewarning. And again, when there's major twists, we'll try not to. But for the most part, again, Hawkeye is a little bit more a straightforward series. So this is more of all like the feelings that we caught and the things that we like and do not like about the series so far. So Hawkeye came out Wednesday with 2 episodes, introducing the newest uh, MCU character to be added into the roster, Kate Bishop. Um, Kate Bishop is a Hawkeye fangirl that saw Hawkeye. A little bit of a difference between the comic book and what they're doing in Disney Plus. Um, she saw from her New York penthouse, rich kid,
I love that.
the Battle of New York when she was a kid. Saw Hawkeye crushing it, killing so many Tauri with just a bow and
So
arrow.
bad.
And then after all the hoopla is over, and she was scared on what's gonna happen next. Her mom, the surviving mom, because presumably the dad died during that attack, um, asked what Kate Bishop wanted to do, played by Haley Steinfeld. Um, and she wanted a bow and arrow, and she became this cool, badass archer, martial artist, a
Yeah.
wise ass. Works at a security company, so she has
Her
some
mom's security company.
mom's security company, so she has some tech to help her track and investigate shit. Um, she then stumbled into an illegal black market auction where the Ronin suit was being auctioned off. Said auction was breached by the tracksuit mafia to steal a watch. What the watch is for, or what is the watch is about, we do not know still, after even after the second episode. But the idea is, um Kate dons the Ronin suit to try to stop whatever she can and save the people that she was trying to investigate. um, and then Clint got involved because he saw the suit, and he knows the suit brings a lot of unwanted attention to whomever is bearing it. So he wanted to get the suit back, possibly keep it safe, or possibly destroy it. Make sure everybody forgets about Ronin again. That's the general broad strokes of it. So let's start with Jay. I
Oh,
know you
he
haven't
didn't
seen
see
it,
it. Yeah.
so I've Chubax, what'd you think about episodes 1 and 2? Things that you like, story beats that you want
Um.
to talk about.
So like you, I was very excited about this. Um. Generally, I loved it. There were some beats that definitely I didn't like, but I was I was ready for that. It's in my expectations. Um, so let's start with what I love. I love Clint. I love Haley Steinfeld, Kate Bishop. I mean, obviously she's very easy on the eyes, but
Mhm.
she's beautiful. She's tall. She's gorgeous. But she's great. She's a great actress. Her chemistry with Clint, perfect. I love it. I'll immediately go to what I didn't like. Um, I didn't like the stepdad. It was
Of
too,
course.
too on the low. I
Duquesne.
mean,
What's his name?
you could have
Jack
made it.
Duquesne.
Yeah, it was. You could have been more charming. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I didn't know there was this much gonna be this. It was gonna be a family dynamic with Bishop
Yeah.
from the trailer. It was a little more action packed in the trailer, so that's kind of a little slow for me.
Yeah.
Um, the the first episode was really good. The second, there was like I didn't love the LARP part.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't love the fencing part. It was like that was like filler for me. So I think we're gonna kick it up back next. But I was thankful with like because the LARP part were like with the it was too much time for him getting the costume. But thankfully he got it. I was thinking
I was
like
thinking
something will
that
happen
he was gonna run
again and
away.
then
Yep.
leave it. So that's like okay, I'll forgive you. So I'll let it slide because he got it. So I thought it was gonna be another runaround after that. So that's fine. I'll forgive it. And then so it's shaping up to it's heading in the right direction. So we're getting there. I love the twist reveal in the end. I didn't expect that. Were you expecting that? Do you know
I
who
saw
she
it
was?
when she's on the trailer. I didn't realize that she was gonna come out the second episode.
Oh, but do you know who she is?
Echo, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Echo. Yeah. So in the comics, Echo Echo used the Ronin suit.
Yeah,
Uh,
she donned the Ronin suit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. She used it with when Clint was out, right? Like she donned the
No,
suit.
well, I'm not sure perfectly of this. All I remember was Bendis had an Avengers run, and in that first arc, the first like 6 issues, they had Daredevil. So it was like Cap, Iron Man, Wolverine, Spider Man, Daredevil. I don't know if a Thor was there. Thor, I think. And then so continuing to the next arc, everybody was expecting Daredevil to be part of the team, but he backed out. And then he said, "Oh, I'll send somebody else." And the guy he sent was Ronin, and nobody knew who he was, but it turned out to be. She's like, "Are you Daredevil?" Because she had moves like Daredevil, but then it turned out to be Echo in the Ronin suit, and her power is similar to the Taskmaster, where
Photo something.
photographic reflexes or yeah. So once she sees you do a move, she can do it. So I'm excited for that. I love the tracksuit mafia. They're just so I don't know. They're hitting it to me like they look so
Bro.
dumb. Yeah, bro. They look so dumb, but it's hitting with me. I like it. They're funny, intentionally funny, and the action is good. And the last scene, I'm interrogating you. You talk to me.
I need to speak to your manager, right? Yeah.
Clint is awesome. He has. I mean, he's one of the original Avengers, and I'm saying that not just as like Clint as a badass. Like Jeremy Renner knows Clint Barton.
Mhm.
He is Clint Barton, so he has him nailed down. I don't. Is this the first time about the hearing aid though?
Yep. And I
Is the
love
first
the
time?
fact that they just dropped that. And I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll probably talk about it towards the end
more.
about but I love the idea that they didn't linger, didn't make it an issue. It's like,
Yeah,
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 he's
yeah.
going deaf.
And I like how that happened, and then the flashback of all the shit that he's been through. I was like, that happened. Uh, Highlights for me were anything with Clint and Kate Bishop. They were amazing. Like it really solidified that Clint is human. Like their scenes are they were in a grocery store
This
buying
is how you
medicine.
this is how you
Yeah, that
suture
was
a
so
wound.
amazing. Like how to clean your wound. To he's a normal guy who worries about infection because the other guys they're not. He needs to worry about this. So and he's badass. So yeah, for me, I love Vera Farmiga. Yeah. So this you heard what I did like. How about you?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Second episode
And
was
it's
a little weak.
our holiday. It fit with the festivities because we had Thanksgiving dinner and then we watched it, so it was in the mood.
It
And
was
sorry, the Rogers musical was funny.
I was
So,
see that's the thing that I having seen the Rogers musical in the trailers, I thought that it was going to be like a quick blip because it's very hard to make. That's hard, even just like a 10-second thing. You don't make a 10-second musical thing and just write 10 seconds of it, right?
yeah, you have
So
to write a
I
lot.
was so surprised how much of the Rogers musical was there. I even love the fact. I mean, the series started so strong because of the Rogers musical, of how cringy it is for Hawkeye, for Clint,
And Ant Man.
how he was like, it's like that didn't happen. That guy wasn't there. It's like, I 1000 that killed me. I love them tackling the celebrity because they haven't really tackled the celebrity issue that way,
Oh,
like
and one more
how
thing, John. I actually like. So it's been so long since Endgame. I forgot about that. So I was watching the Rogers with him. I thought he was gonna be focusing on
no
his
on
character,
himself.
somebody
Yeah, no.
playing, yeah, and Clint. But then, oh shit, yeah, right, that's dead. Like, okay,
So
sorry,
and
guys.
and again, and the daughter Layla bringing that up was kind of like all of those things, like acting as
Yeah,
the audience for us. So if you've never seen Endgame, why did he react that way? Even the graffiti where it says Thanos was right. It was like all of those small beats that really. I love the fact that this is ground level, superhuman. Everything about this series is it's a MacGuffin. They have a suit, they want to fucking get the suit. They want to get rid of the suit. That's all he wants. She wants a quiet time. And I love the fact that everything ancillary around it kind of makes sense. But that's also its biggest pitfall. Like, because it is a quick series, all right? It's 6 episodes or nine.
Six, six.
Yeah, it's 6 episodes. They can't have a lot of exposition on how these things. So just like the tracksuit mafia, just they know everybody. They know where everybody goes. Like they know, like, and the set pieces are like pretty much joined together fairly quickly. Um, and I love the Kate Bishop Clint Barton dynamic. There's very, very little reason how it was that strong that quick. Essentially, they've known each other for half a day after the first episode, and then they're already like living for each other, right? So those are the minor details that kind of like, because if I were Clint, I would just like strip that suit off her as soon as I found it and burnt it. Well, actually, it can't be burnt. That's the reason why he had to think about it. So it can't destroy it, just like hide it. But no, she had to like, wait. And now Tracksuit Mafia is after Kate. So it's like, all right, I'm enjoying it be- because of its lightness. It's not like Loki where I'm like thinking
Yes,
about
yes.
it the rest of the week, or WandaVision. This one's like I sit down, I open my eyes, I have a lot of fun. Action is super good. Haley Steinfeld is delightful.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner is great. I was very, very concerned that Laura, Clint's wife, wasn't gonna be there. I thought
Me too, because she wasn't
they
in the
were
trailer. I was
yeah, if
like,
we were
are they gonna be
divorced or
split?
something
Yeah.
like that, I would have been crushed. But yeah, that was
And
fun, what, 80 minutes or 60, some odd minutes that we saw of these two. The second episode had a little bit of trouble pacing though, because
yeah.
it was a lot of just like walking around following shit, and then like
Filler episode.
at the end a little comedic beat, and then a baddie, not necessarily a big bad, but a baddie. So I do like the idea. So like, I did a little bit of research once I started watching, and who Jack Duquesne is, right? So why he's so good with swords. He's kind of like the sword master too. He's actually a Hawkeye villain. So
Oh, okay. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
so he is kind of comedic that way, but yeah, I mean it's a little bit of like a mafia comedy, Home Alone slash Godfather bit that's happening here. But I'm excited. Like I'm glad that it is light. I'm glad that I don't have to think
Yes,
about it.
and like you said, all in context, it's perfect for Thanksgiving. I don't want a Loki right now. I don't, or a WandaVision where I'm sad. But, I want something fun and light because it's a holiday.
Mhm.
So I think it's perfect for that.
Awesome. Well, I
Just
mean,
take
it
it
is
into
only the
February
first 2 episodes. There will be a bunch more episodes coming in. We are going to discuss our thoughts and reviews
as each
every
episode
week
drops.
as it comes out. So far, it's just a setup, so we don't have a lot of things to really sink our teeth into. Apart from the fact that they change a bunch about Kate Bishop's backstory to make it a little bit more in line, in sync with what they're trying to get at in this particular series. And then the little bit about Hawkeye starting to go deaf, and the suit, how the Ronin suit is still affecting the underground scene in New York. Next week we will do again the next episode of Wheel of Time and Hawkeye. I know we've discussing Hellbound a few weeks ago. I actually finished that. Well, I have 2 more episodes left, but I've been watching Hellbound. We might not do a deep dive out of it, but we'll discuss whether it is worth your time watching. And then if we have other new things to watch for next week, let you guys know too.
Uh, Venom just dropped on iTunes.
Oh, so we can watch Venom now.
Ooh,
Do you want me to add that?
Let's.
we
You
can,
gave
we
her that?
can.
Okay. So Hellbound's on the list. Okay, I'm like episode 2.
So
Uh,
yeah, I was again. That was one
so
of those.
Venom, you put Netflix though.
Oh shit.
Venom, Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Next flop. No, Venom.
Venom, you put Netflix. Apologies. Okay. You haven't
Uh,
seen it yet, right?
no, I have
Netflix.
not seen it. I was
Netflix.
Okay,
again the
okay.
rules are I'm not gonna fucking risk COVID for Venom.
Okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch the first one first again, and then I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
good for homework next week.
See you guys next week. Chubax, parting thoughts and goodbyes.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Hope you had a good one. Very thankful for family, friends in our show. Hope you join us. Spread the word.
Yeah. RJ, final thoughts and goodbyes.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers. We would be very thankful if you can hit that subscribe button, click share, and spread the word. If you want people to enjoy three, handsome, relatively handsome gentlemen
Right.
reviewing shows for you, so that you don't have to invest your time or invest your time for it, you know, follow us. Thank you.
And that's it for this week. I'm again very thankful for these boys. I am very unlucky in a lot of things in my life, except for friends and family. That's something that I will never ever take for granted. Although it's kind of annoying because I can't complain about all the other stuff that I'm unlucky about because I'm super fucking lucky with my friends and my family. But this little project of ours, it takes a lot of effort to do, but every single ounce of it is extremely enjoyable for me. It's kind of like my therapy, my weekend getaway. I know that there's going to be a couple of hours on a Saturday or on a Sunday during our weekend that I know I'm just going to like forget about the day's problem. So hopefully you guys find the same thing in your daily lives. But while you're finding those things, you can join us in our discussions. And then hopefully you get a little bit of benefit of knowing what to watch, what not to watch, what to hate watch, what to context watch, what to like suggest to your friends and family to watch so that they will be miserable too, like the Prisoners of the Ghostland. So, yeah, we will see you next week. And thank you very much for listening. Bye.